Oh, hey guys, and welcome to the show. It's like my camera is being a bit of a tricky. Second, let me adjust this. White balance is all goofed. That. Hey Edwin, welcome to the show. Just trying to unscrew my camera here. Hey, sorry your team didn't win last night. That's a bummer, but one-run spread and extra innings looks like they put up a hell of a fight, so that's good. Oh, where are my video settings coming up? Come on, thing. Yeah, it sounds like it was really good. What's going on? Camera. That ain't it. There we go. Wrong camera attached. All right, so back to the programming. All right, so just to kind of catch people up who weren't here last week, what we're building is one of my nerd toys. It is we're going to be building kind of a note-taking, story writing kind of app with map interfaces for me as a dungeon master for D&D. So that's my nerd thing, and I decided it would be a fun project to build, not because anybody out in Chatland probably cares about being a dungeon master for D&D, but because it has a lot of opportunities to investigate things that some of which I've never done before. I've never messed with mapping, so I'm kind of excited to play with that. We're also going to play with Flex for some of the front end stuff because that looked really intriguing to me, and we'll be doing something akin to Notion for note-taking capabilities. Not that I'm trying to steal from Notion, but hey, if there's something that's really good, try to emulate it. It's a good way to learn. This project is meant to be a community learning resource and a community project. It is not meant to be not at all meant to be for production or anything. What I want is for people to have an opportunity to come on and pair program with me, to submit PRs, to practice, ticketing and stuff like that, and we can talk about those things online too, so that you have practice on all the stuff, not just the programming but all the administrative guff as well. So feel free to get in there and PR away or mess with things. We haven't gotten very far because last week was mostly just a tech test, and we set up a couple basic models. So any questions about kind of where we're going with this in a general sense? I know we haven't gotten into a lot of specifics yet, but that's fine. Okay, so I did want to address a couple of things from last week. We set up these specs for the these first two models, and I've got a model map that we'll take a look at to kind of get this in our heads. But one of the things I did last week is I set up these really basic tests for relationships, model relationships. Now, these tests are wasteful and completely unnecessary, these type of tests. You don't need to test that a model has a relationship. When you get to your functional tests, it'll test all that stuff. And if somebody goes and deletes a relationship, well, all your functional tests are going to start failing. So this is irrelevant. The reason I do this when I'm starting up a project is because it's a very fast way to test my feedback cycle, my testing feedback cycle, so that I can put something up quick, make sure that, you know, all my shortcut keys are working, my server is running right, my test stuff is set up, my databases are set properly, and I can get green responses really quick. These tests are going to go away later. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't test models. I'm saying you shouldn't test these basic relationships. More advanced relationships, like if, you know, this should only have, should have many play sessions if it's, you know, with if statements and all kinds of scoping and that kind of stuff. That stuff you probably do want to test in here, but just basic model relationships, they don't really, they're not necessary to test. So I just want to put that out there that while I did this, the only reason I did it is so that I could just test the flow and get that going. That's just kind of my habit for starting a project. I like to see green, makes me feel good. Hey, Julie, how are you? I'm so glad that you got to stop by. So, hey, how was the last soccer game? The kids' soccer game? How'd they do? They play their hearts out? All right, so let's take a look at, this is kind of a basic model map. I just started playing with this just to lay out my thinking. I'm just using Lucid Spark here, free version of Lucid Spark. I'm not doing anything complicated. So I don't have a, oh good, I'm so glad. I'm so glad they both got to play, especially last game. So this is just kind of a basic layout. I don't do a lot of deep planning on Funzy projects because I just kind of like to see where they go. I have kind of a general idea, but I'm not going to sell this. I'm not going to have customers. So let's just play, right? Play and learn. So, but this is kind of where we're going. We've got a user layer, right? Because login users. We have campaigns, so this is kind of the major grouping. So there's going to be a user. A campaign will have one owner that is a user. That is in the parlance of D&D. That would be the dungeon master, right? He's running the campaign. He's being all the monsters and all the villages and all the world. He's everything in the world other than the players, right? So yes, I'm nerding out, but it's cool. Just stay up with me here. So a campaign can have lots of notes, but they will have play sessions. So, you know, like if you get together once a week to play, you'll put the notes for that play session under that play session. So it's like a subgrouping mechanism. Then those play sessions will be connected to maps and notes. The thing I started thinking about, though, is this isn't quite right, because actually the maps and notes belong to the campaign, as does the play session. Play session, though, becomes kind of a filter for the maps and notes, right? So I can tell the program, okay, when I'm in this context of this particular play session, let's say the October 27th play session, right, or whatever we've named it, I want this to filter to these notes and these maps, right? The other thing that we need to be cognizant of, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to connect these together, is that maps can have notes, and notes can belong to several maps. I haven't done any one-to-manys here. I'm just kind of laying out basic overview structure. So it's not that a map belongs to a note, but these things can be related. So the map, not the map itself, but a point on the map can have a note associated with it. So if I go into that map, I'm looking at that map, and I click on this particular point, it can bring up this note that belongs there, right? So, you know, it's talking about this city, or it's information about this village, or it's information about this mountain, or this this special tree or whatever, right? Do you need to know how to play the game? Absolutely not. Not even a little bit. All you really need to know is there are lots of notes. It is a kind of cooperative story creation game. So essentially, people are building a story together. But my job as the game master is to build the world here, and part of that is lots of notes and lots of maps or visual stuff. So this really isn't. The idea came from me playing the game. The concepts really don't matter. They're just note-taking, map integration, fun things to play with. So no, the rules of the game or flow of the game or context of the game is completely unimportant here. Brother plays it and always wanted to try. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. Because it's, I mean, yes, it's nerdy, but I mean, let's face it, we're coders, we're all nerds. But it's a lot of fun because it's just people, you know, creating a story together and having fun and you know, getting together with fun stories. Really all it is. All right, so really this is, I'm not sure how to notate this here though. So play sessions are kind of a filter. Let's see what I can do with sticky notes here. But geez, oh Pete, that's very big. No, not auto. Let's make this a little. Filters for map and note. Okay. That's really kind of what the play session is it's just a filter, kind of a presentation layer type thing. So, you know, when I go into this and we're going to use it, I'm going to be looking at my view really is the play session. That's where I want all the stuff. It's in that context, right? Kind of hard to see it's connected. And this, all this stuff here is just kind of brain dumping. So let me know if you think I should move things around, if you have suggestions for this brain dump, if you have ideas. Totally looking for ideas and input. Backseat driving is more than welcome. So with that in mind, what we've got set up is I know a lot of people use Devise for their kind of user layer. I'm using a thing called Sorcery. I like it a lot better than Devise. Devise for me is too heavyweight. Not bad. It's just more heavyweight than I like. So Sorcery is a lot more lightweight, and I end up I take Sorcery and build it up to what I want instead of taking Devise and stripping it down to what I want. I just like that mode better. So we have that user layer, right? We have our campaign model, just very basically defined, that it has an owner, which is a user. We have a play session defined, and we'll take a look at these, that belongs to a campaign, and a campaign can have many play sessions. We have not done anything with these yet. Well, that's an interesting question. Looking for the view to simultaneously show the notes and map or a toggle. My thinking is, so the way I would like to do it is to have where I can pull up a particular map. I may have lots of them, or an image. Let's just call it an image, okay? Where I can pull up a particular image, click on that image, and it brings up a little modal with the note that I've got attached to that point, right? And below that, I can have a list of types of notes. So we're going to have lots of different types of notes, right? So we may have a map note. We may have a global note, right? So we're going to have types of notes. So we'll probably be using something like an enumerable. Yep, I can say that. An enumerable. You know what I mean. A list. So So yeah, we'll probably do something like that. Now, I suspect that ultimately what we will want are some toggles where I can like, okay, let's make this map full screen so I can concentrate on this, or let's make the notes section full screen so I can concentrate on this, or there's a config where I want the default to be this thing. But rather than planning that, just so you know how I kind of approach these, I like to do the simple thing and then see if I want to add complexity to it or not. So to me, the simple thing is show the map in like the top area, show notes in the bottom area, right? That seems pretty straightforward to start with. So what we want to do now, I think, so let's go take a look at what we've got. So don't worry about those specs at the moment. I mean, specs are good, but yeah, right. Function, then pretty. That's how I like to do it. All right, so you can see we've got a user model here, has many campaigns. I know. One of the reasons I stopped doing front end stuff is because my artistic side comes out and I start spending days and days and days fiddling with all the front end pretty crap and haven't made the thing functional yet. That's my demon, I guess. So we've got our user model. Got a campaign model that belongs to user as an owner. So this campaign has an owner ID field, not a user ID field. A perfectionist, a bit, yeah. There's a point at which I can just let things go and say, all right, look, good enough. But especially with aesthetics, I get really fiddly. So we've got the play sessions. We've got this can have many play sessions, and the play session belongs to a campaign. All right, so we've gotten that far. So I haven't done anything yet with controllers. So just all the basic stuff. I haven't done anything yet with views because I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to route all this stuff. And honestly, I know this is a very slow start, but I'm just kind of thinking and playing and goofing and answering questions, right? When to break the project into smaller projects just to have a working prototype. Yep. I want to do all the things. But that's one of the reasons I've kind of taught myself to do this. Start with just a couple of models, put those together, see what you need to do with those, and add another model or two. So, on the models front, oh, I didn't open up my head up. It's fine. You don't need to know. There's not much in these models yet either. If I go into here, come on, girlie. I don't think I have any records yet. No. Yeah, Juliet. Detail oriented. Well, I think most developers are detail oriented, which is why they're developers. And you kind of teach yourself to look at bigger and bigger picture as you go. At least that's the way it happened with me, and I've seen that with a number of colleagues. That's just kind of how it develops. That's not helpful. Okay. Isn't there a gem you can use? I think there's a gem that will actually put... will actually put the the model structure, the fields and everything at the bottom is comments automatically got up to date. Is it Jim that does that? I don't remember what it's called. I swear I've seen that before. Yes. Annotate models, probably it. And it's not too old, so this is probably what I'm looking for. Let's see. See what it looks like to see if this is the one I'm looking for. This is an Ubuntu VM 20.04. I'm running it through VirtualBox. I don't care about the markdown. All right, well, you know what? Let's try it out. How bad could it be, right? It could only just blow up my virtual machine. Yeah, let's just give it a shot. Just fine. On my Mac, on key combo. That's one of the things that's really annoying about having a PC at home and a Mac for work, which actually is right here, but still. It's so annoying because the frickin' key combinations, the muscle memory is just throws me for a loop. Okay, Julie. See you back. All right, so I want to be at development. Yes. Up here. See, mixing double and single quotes like that just would make me banana crap. Can't do that. That's not cool. All right, let's go bundle this. I could have done that right here. Not sure why I didn't. Old habits die hard, I guess. Old dogs, new tricks. Whatever other sayings you want. Get it? Yep. Got it. Okay, good. Cool, cool. And do they have a way to say go? All right, well, let's do this first. Oh. No. Don't have money for a Mac. Installed Ubuntu on my ThinkPad while I save. Yeah, well, I wouldn't have a Mac, except that's what work sent me. Hey, Eric. How you doing? All right, so we got the annotate models.rake. Does that mean I can just run that? Why does my mouse keep blocking up? Yeah, usage. Test fixtures and factories. Oh. No, it did those too. Huh, I wonder what that looks like. Find out. Enjoyed the Halloween show last night. Me too, man. I had a lot of fun. That was really fun. Seemed like chat was having a good time. I was having a good time. All the guests seemed like they were having a good time. So I would call that a 10 out of 10. Would do again. All right, let's see what this does. Nope, not that. I can just run that, right? Have to bundle exec. Hey, look at that. All right, let's see what it did. Doesn't look like it annotated anything. Oh, wait, hold on. That's the spec. Oh. So it puts that in the... nifty. Okay, there we go. So user... didn't do this one for some reason. Why not? Oh. Okay. There we go. Now we're cooking. That. I like it. I like that it puts it in the spec too. That's pretty cool. I don't think I have any routes to even look at though yet. I haven't done any routing yet, so it's fine. Got this big task it did. Yeah. All right. Cool. Oh yeah. Also, just I need to set this up as a about blank. That's not a URL. Suck. I need to set this up as an automated message. But if anybody wants to get to the GitHub for this, there it is. If you want to follow along, play on your own time, whatever you want to do. Need to automate that in the chat so it pops up every once in a while, as well as other things, but we'll get there. We'll get there. You know, I had to do important things first. So what's going on? Oh wow, hi. Cool.
Respect my authority!
That's right, Cartman. Okay. So I like how that works. That makes things easier. Good. Thing done. Okay, let's add all that. Those things up. All right, see, man. Okay, good. Now what I want to do. So the real things we want are the maps and the notes. I'm going to start with the notes because I really have no idea how to do the mapping stuff. I've never played with any kind of mapping gems. I don't know how I can load an image and kind of turn it into a zoomable map with pins on it. I know that Google Maps has an API, but I looked at that a little bit. That doesn't look like the best solution, I don't think, but I'm just going to put that out there for whoever to I mean, I'll research it, but if you guys have any suggestions or anything with anything with ideas of what to do with that, let me know if it's something you're interested in looking into. Eric, I just saw your new screensaver, man. That's That's awesome. Thank you. That's really fun. Oh wow, that is so good. I like it. Oh wow. Cool. Yeah. That makes me feel good, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying the show enough to do something like that. All right, so what I want to do, we want to get to the notes. You want to call these notes? Is that the best? Is that the best option? Make sure before we do it. I mean, yeah, I don't really see any better name for that. Oh, hey man, it was my pleasure. I really enjoyed that night. I actually enjoyed coordinating all that too, surprisingly, as introverted as I am. Yeah, it was a fun thing to do. I will definitely be doing stuff like that again. Okay, so let's G up some notes. Want them, they will belong to a campaign. Actually, I could do it. This is more better. Reference campaign, we can have the... Let's have a title. Let's have a biddy, body. Let's have a player visible flag, because one of the things I want to do with this for my DMing stuff is I can allow the players in the campaign to log in and see certain things, but there are certain things that I don't want them to see, all the secrets and stuff, right? So we will default that to false, but I don't. Can you put defaults in the Rails G for these models? Oh, I probably ought to say Rails G model. That ain't correct. I'm discovering it's hard to program and live stream at the same time because the brain just wants to do one or the other. So you guys are going to have to help me out. Yeah, I mean, you've got to edit me here. Can you put defaults in the Rails G notes? Goblin Grinder Part 0? Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was mostly tech test, but we did set up a couple of things and talk about some stuff, so. Yeah, absolutely good practice. Well, and that's my intention, is I want this to go slow enough so that new programmers are comfortable being here and can contribute as well. Let's take a look at the Rails. No, I don't want the Rails. That's not what I want. I mean, I can go put them in the migration after. I just want to find out if you can do it just in the model generator. Oh, fine, okay. Get your cookies. Can't set the default when creating. Okay. So you can't. So we'll just have to do it in the migration. That's fine. Just was curious. That's how you learn. All right, so we've got it connected to the campaign. Got a title, we got a body, got a player visible flag. We've got, what else would I want in here? Do I need, my notes may need images. Okay. Here's another good thing to think about when you're developing. principle called YAGNI. If you haven't seen YAGNI, it stands for you ain't gonna need it. Don't over-engineer your stuff. Don't put something in until you know you need it. So normally this player visible thing wouldn't be here, except I know that I'm gonna need that. I know that for a fact. Am I going to attach images to these? Probably, but let's not add that field until we decide that we actually are, right? So let's YAGNI this sucker. So let's just leave it here, okay? We'll just generate that. We can always add more stuff to it. Adding to it is much easier than stripping crap out. Unknown type campaign. Do I have to capitalize it there? I do. Class. Right? Or did I just... How am I doing this wrong? Oh. I have to do it this way. I don't want to do it this way. I'll type all that crap out again. What? Are you going to make me do it this way? If so, I'm going to start putting shortcuts. It's obviously something stupid and typo-ish. Oh. Well, I mean, it is typo-ish. It's because doing it like English ain't like English. That away. Thank you. All right, so let's go take a look at the generates the factories for me, which is nice, but I don't need those yet. What I want is the migration. All right. So it set up our reference thing for the campaign. So we've got a campaign ID. This we want to default to false. The body we want all false at the database layer. We don't want a bunch of empty notes in here. It's just not good. I'd rather have the error and then delete the note at the front end rather than junking up my database. Okay, so that's good. I think that's good. Now, let's check the model, make sure it looks okay. Belongs to campaign, and then my campaign. Ew. Mini. Right. Now, again, I'm not going to bother writing tests for these relationships because I know my test flow works with these other tests that we wrote. There's no reason to write tests for just basic relationships. All right. That's good. That's good. Everything's good. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Good. All right. So let's. What am I doing? Oh. Yeah, so the notes, basically they're kind of multi-purpose, and what I'm ultimately going after with the notes is something akin to the way Notion does things, right? So we're gonna have many types of notes, but they are for the DM. I mean, the DM will create all the notes, but then the DM can say the players can see these particular notes, right? So that's why I've got a player visible. It may be that we go a little further later and make a join table there and say, so that we can say these particular players can see these particular notes, but not these players, right? but really notes is a very general thing that can be used for a lot of stuff in my vision. So I'm thinking more like a note as it would be in Notion. All right, so we've got that. I migrated, yes. Okay, so that's all good. We're all good. Let's let's just do this for giggles, just to make sure I accidentally broken something. Can't imagine what we would have broken. Too little simpleton. Yeah, so we're all good. Good. Oops. Sometimes my brain gets a little ahead of my fingers. Okay. Now, let's actually do something now. So we want notes. So we basically want CRUD notes. So we'll start with the basics. Up the syntax for this. See, I do all kind of back-end stuff anymore. My front-end stuff is extraordinarily rusty. So I would call me, from a front-end standpoint, a junior developer right now. It's been very many years since I've played with any of that stuff. So we'll all learn together, and it's okay. Because I can't remember. I don't do these Rails G things because I'm generally working in existing monolithic apps where all this stuff already exists, so I don't have to create it. I'm usually just extending business functionality. So, not what I asked for. I'm going to do this as a mob pairing session sometime where we can chat, ask questions live, and also record. Yes, I am actually looking at, thanks to some suggestions, I'm going to implement code together in here. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But one of the big things that I want to do with this is pair programming, allow people to come on and pair and drive for a little while and do some actual programming. That is one of the things I am planning to do. I just haven't implemented that part yet. So, but it will be coming. I'm having a lot of lockups here. Am I over? Uh-oh. Yeah, it should be coming soon. I just got to figure out the details of how I can invite people, how I get them on, how we take turns, all that kind of stuff. How to do the kind of control bit. All the mechanics. But yes, I absolutely want to do that because I love pair programming. Especially, it is freezing audio and video, yeah. I think, oh, I'm youngified. Yeah, I'm not sure what's doing that. I have to do some investigation. Does it seem to have unscrewed itself now? There may have to be something turned off here. A hot second. It's fixed. Okay. Yes, I'll fix my camera. Hold on. All good. Not that one. Not that one. It's that one. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think I had SnapCam running in the background, but that thing seemed to be just blowing my world up, so we'll do without that for now. Because
This sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before.
slow mode is on. Oh, do I have slow mode on? Actually, it may not be slow mode. It may be because I'm going through Restream, not directly to YouTube. So I'm restreaming to both Twitch and YouTube, which means, and I'm using the Restream chat aggregator. So it has to go through multiple layers before it gets to me. That could be what's going on, but all right, let's get back to the fun stuff here. All right, so does this crap, get that. I just can't remember if the generate controller does all the basic actions, or if you have to tell it the actions you want or limit the actions you don't want. I can't remember. Anybody remember? I think, yeah. So I think just doing the regular will do all the crud stuff, I believe. It's gonna work. I mean, worst case, we roll back. It's fine. Let's just see what it do. All right, so I now have a notes controller that has no crud in it. Yeah, so I did need to tell it. I want new update, edit. There we go. Now, what did it do with my routes? No, that's not right. So, try this again. That is just completely incorrect. I rolled back, thank you. Oh. Okay. All back. That's why we commit often. You can do stuff like that. How do I want to... How do you... Okay. mean, we could do all this manually, right? I know that. But I want to see the shortcuts because I know there are some. So I want to resort. Right? Resource? No, that does the whole thing down to the model. I don't want the model. I just want the controller actions. That's not how I want to do it. Good man. Dig it up. One of us will win. No, I don't need that. Just do a resource. Okay, let's find out. Oh, is that gonna overwrite my... See, if I do that though, probably overwrite the migrations that we've set up and all that. I don't really want to force overwrite those. I just want to. So, well, you know what? We'll find out. The whole point of this, right? Let's learn. Yeah, so this did helpers, the controllers. Oh, you mean it's just right? Yes, it that's true, but it won't set up the things for the controller. Let's see what we've got here. It did not add any blew away my note stuff, right? All right, so I think what I'm gonna do here is just make my life simple. Spend too much time on this. Da 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 da. So let's just make the bloody controller. So notes controller in the routes. Go away. Want this from, yeah. So we need a new. How do we keep calling that new? Damn it. All right, so now if I go do... Got things running right. I think Rails 7 changed how you do routes. Oh, is it? It's Rails routes now. I thinking. Yep, thanks, Rebuilt. I'm reverting back to the last time I was in front end crap dealing with routes. Just being all kinds of noob here. All right, Dex create. All right. Okay, so I already had an update. All right, thanks, Eric. Thanks for hanging out, man. Have a good lunch. Complaining about. Yeah, it won't be empty for long. Yourself. All right, here we go now. Now I've got controller actions and all that crap, so I should be able to now just gonna crap out because there is no file. Did I not? Not the reason it's crapping out. Typo. Okay, missing the temp. Yes, that's what I was looking for. All right, so man, am I having tech issues again? With me a sec, chat. Checking the stream views here. I mean the stream. Sure things aren't goofing. Okay, no, I think we're good. We're all right. We're okay. Yeah, all right. So there we got that. So I don't need those anymore. Don't need that. All right. And oh, we're going to views. Notes in text. Actually, okay. So now, normally we'd be doing, well, the default way in Rails is to do ERB, right? I really would like to do flex, I don't know Flex, but it looks really interesting. But I'm not really sure how to get started with it yet. So let's find out how to get started with it yet. Right? You don't know. Look in the instructions. Yeah. All right, so views. Flex views of Ruby objects represent your app's user interface. Index.html. Yes, you are right, Rebuilt. That absolutely is the case. But we're not going to do that anyway. So we want, if we're going to use Flex, right? Because what this does is it encapsulate views in more like poros instead of a completely separate ERB templating language, right? So create a view class by subclassing Flex View, finding a template instance method. Okay, that's great. Where would you do this? Do we put it in the view? Yeah, well, I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see what we can learn. I haven't used it before, so it's all new to me. Okay, and he just initializes vendors template, but how do you call it? Blocks, that's all nice. Yeah, how do you call it though? Yeah, I get that we're making it. Render that. Render it from the controller as well as other views. Okay, good. All right, so we'd start with the controller. Okay, I get it. All right, so the first thing we need then. Now, normally, I would be writing tests first and then implementing these because I want my tests to fail and then implement this. I don't like to backfill tests. I'm test first development. However, I want to just play around with a Flex view to see if I can get the basics working first and understand it because I don't know enough yet to write a test to test it. Right? So I have to understand it first. So I think what we want to do is something like akin to this. We'll put this in our views directory. Notes. So let's get rid of this. I don't need that. What I want is index.rb, right? Is it like that? Is that the thing? I mean, he's got a class hello. I'm not sure yet what kind of semantics he's using or if he has a suggested semantic. We're starting to play with Flex, Edwin. See if we can Hey, C Sharpo. Welcome. Trying to understand Flex. It's brand new stuff for me, so let's see if we can unpack it. All right, well, let's just do it like this. I mean, naming is hard, so we'll worry about naming later. All right, so got the index. We want to go to controllers. What system? Yeah, this is the new Ubuntu 2004 running in VirtualBox. It's a virtual machine. Hey, Colin. How's it going? Ruh-roh, Raggy. All right, so we want our notes controller on the index. we've got... Alright, so how is he calling this? My scroll's so damn slow on this one. Want this. So he was doing something like this. Oh, I see how he's... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Good. I like that. Yeah, it sounds fun. I like the idea of it because it's more Poro than separate language. Linux versus Windows? Well, I program in Linux, but this VirtualBox is running on a Windows host. I do all my gaming in Windows, but I don't like programming in Windows. I find Linux just easier for my brain. Not saying there's anything wrong with people that program in Windows. Just not my cup of tea. So I want to use notes index. All right, so here we want this to actually be note. Do I have to do it that way? So there's not really going to be... This is meaningless yet because we don't have any records in there and it doesn't use this, but let's just see if we get... Where am I from? I am in Florida. Where are you from? Always interested to know where the viewers are from. So let's go take a look at this and see if it recognizes that as a template. No. All right. Define uninitialized constant controller. Warsaw. Oh wow, cool. I'm so rich. How am I rich? And if I'm rich, would somebody please tell my bank account? I'm rich with friends, family, and love. Yes. Yep, Collin, Louisiana. Edwin, Connecticut. All right. Northeast. So let's see. Griping about controllers. Griping about this. Rich with text. There you go. What now? It wants a notes controller views. Why does it? Oh, okay. Do I actually have to set it up as far back? Why would I not want to use compact style? That's goofy. I nest that. That's just silliness. Let's see what we got. Still griping about. What is this? That keeps showing up. Not sure where that's coming. Oh, am I in? Oh. Oh, that's because... Never mind. I'm tracking now. That's because of the Better Errors gem. I don't. Right, I know it's the web console. I didn't understand why it was popping up, but I think it's from the better errors, Jim. Notes controller, so it doesn't know how to get to this. Why is it not in? Okay. Back and. Oh, I didn't run the setup script. Okay. Okay. I mean, also. In the gem file. All right. Now, that. Big application app views. Application. Okay. See what that is all about. App views, application view. Right. All right. Module view. Why is my phone going? Crap. Yeah, definitely got a little ahead of ourselves. Yeah, good catch, Rebuilt. All right, so, okay. Rails application routes URL help. Huh. All right, so I'm assuming. Well, let's go back to the instructions here. So we did that. To include app in your auto load paths. Right, okay. That. Okay, so it's the base, like application record, got it. App view articles index.rb. Okay, so for notes, not articles, but that's fine. Gotcha. So we're in use notes. App views, yeah, notes, index. Okay, got that. That's good. Oh. Oh. I like that. All right, let's get rid of this garbage that I made and see what that does. Thank you, Joel. That's convenient. See application view. And I actually want to get rid of this. And I'm gonna run this thing. It's index. Right? Is that right, chat? Got that good? Do I have slow mode on the chat, YouTube guys? I didn't even think to check that, but it's certainly something sounds like I would do by accident. I do have slow mode on. All right, see if I can fix it. Okay. But we don't want slow mode. We want instant communication with you guys. You got to keep me straight. Come on. But let's see, because I'm really interested. Where are we? Notes, index. Hey, look at that. Made a thing. I like it. So I put it in the module. Okay, gotcha. We're good. We're doing good. Yeah, okay. So then if I want to just put something simple out, oh, it's basically just straight up HTML, huh? Well, oh. Mode on in your brain. Yeah, so do I. I always do. That's why I wanted to gear this towards brand new developers so that I could keep up. All right, let's see what this does. I'll go fix slow mode in a minute, but I'm excited to see how this works. Doesn't. Why doesn't it? Uninitialize. Oh, we're still in the controller having problems. Okay. Why? It. Why? Use notes index, right? Use index. Yeah. But why is it looking for it? I don't want notes controller view. Let me pop over here and fix the slow mode, or at least try to. My browser's in slow mode. Jeez. Crap, I can't do it. All right. Oh, let me put that on my notes to unscrew that for next time. It's why we do the tech tests and just learn. It's cool. Fine chat. Okay. 'Tis noted. This. I think I would have to do that, but let's give it a shot. You could be right. How is that an All right, listen here. Application view has module views. I need to restart my server because I will. I mean, I shouldn't have to. Oh, maybe it's because I'm running in Spring. Spring doesn't know to. I don't have it shortcutted in. Okay, so it doesn't expect any M's yet. Fine. Fair. I agree. Hey, look at that. Holy crap, it works. I like this. I like this. What do you think, chat? All right, should we go back to just ERB, or should we pursue Flex? It's a community project, so you guys let me know, but I'm kind of actually excited for this. Spring is a preloader, so what it does, so I don't know if if you run Rails and you run a test, right? Every time you run a test, like an RSpec test, it loads the Rails server, like every time. Spring actually loads the server in the background, and then you can just run the tests immediately. So like, for instance, how do you nest HTML? Try to understand. You mean in here? You're talking about in here. I don't know yet because I'm not familiar with the DSL for Flex at the moment, but we will find out. Well, not only for tests, no. Work on front end too, but it's most helpful in tests because I'm looking in there. I don't want to be. Yeah. So if, let's say for instance, I'm going to run this test, right? Let's make sure Spring is stopped. So the first time I run this test, you're going to see it's going to load the Rails server, right? And I have to wait for this. And so normally without Spring, I have to wait for that every time. But now if I run this test again, because Spring is loaded, it's just runs the test. It doesn't have to reload the Rails server. So I like running under Spring because it speeds up my test feedback loop. But it can get a little squirrely if you start changing branches, or if you've got weird migrations, and sometimes it knows most of the time when you change config files when to reload, but sometimes you'll get a little goofy with it. ERB fan doesn't use design system or related that potential benefit system. Yes, that was normally what I was working on front end too, but my brain, because I'm a back-end programmer, my brain works much better in this world than in the ERB world. Now, I get that other people's brains work differently, and that may not be their cup of tea too. But my brain will work much better in this world. So I'm all down for Steam. You guys let me know if you really don't want to do this. You don't have to let me know now. Think it through. Look at the GitHub. Throw some notes in GitHub, comments and stuff. Let me know in Twitter, whatever. That is a good point, Rebuilt. Maybe we should figure out how easy it is to test this. Let's see if he's got any, because testing is important. All right, what in the way of helpers? Why don't we go to his GitHub, see if he's got tests and how he tests it. It's a good way to figure out how to test a gem is how are they testing it. I mean, I see an RSpec setup, but I don't see a spec. Yeah, I just found that. I'm used to looking for a spec folder. I've never seen it. I'm not used to seeing it. All right, so let's see. Rails. So he doesn't articles controller render. Oh, that's simple. Okay, that part seems pretty simple. Well, and the thing is too, so I actually think this will be easier to test because I can actually test this as just a class and not as a view if I need to. So I could potentially have methods in here that do business logic that I can test independently. Now, should I put methods in here that have business logic? Probably not in 99.9% of cases, but there are rare occasions where that is appropriate. However, the testing is no different than a regular class test, right? So the only place where you'd run into weirdisms is if you're trying to test something like front-end JavaScript functionality. Like if my test needs to test a modal, although I don't know how they're rendering modals here, so maybe I don't need to do that. Yeah, there's yeah, it creates view components. So yeah, well, I mean, ERB is just a DSL that generates HTML, right? It's just an HTML generator. So conceptually, he's not doing anything different from that here. He's just put it in a different language domain, right? Essentially. There's more to it than that, but that's kind of essentially what he's done, because ERB is just a DSL for generating HTML, essentially. As is Haml, right? It's just a different DSL for generating HTML. What he's done is he's brought the generation of the HTML into regular PORO DSL. Best way I can think about it. That makes sense? So if I'm going to test this, so let's see, let's yeah. All right, so I want to make a views folder under spec. And let's put, where are we at? We're at, no, I don't want a file, I want a folder. Right? Seems good, doesn't it? So describe. Now here's where I'm a little. I guess I'm describing that. Plural. Right? Okay. It's just for the sake of finding out how to test. Right, fine. We expect... Oh, we expect what? So I need to actually do the controller and then expect its output. So back to his test. Buy. So I want to do something like this. The other thing I really like about this, though, is that I don't have to have a bunch of test helpers jammed up in my spec helper, right? There's not some special Flex test helper thing. I mean, I guess there could be, but I don't. It's just Poros, so I don't have to do that. Your index. So we expect output to, just for starts. Let's just see where we get with it. Yeah, duh. Okay. Missing template notes index. Well, I think so. Missed. All right. All right, Joel, what are we missing here? Expect output to, so he's just testing equality here. But so, all right. It's just doing a render here. Why would it? I've told it where the template is, so why is it looking for formats? Yeah, well, okay. Does it have to be a special flex controller? I thought it was just normal. Did I miss something here? Because he's doing that in just the articles controller, right? So it shouldn't look for ERB. Yeah, so instead of implicitly rendering the ERB template, explicitly render the flex views. Good, so I've told it what to render, right? So why isn't it? And this is here. Something not auto-loading because of spring or something? Joel, help! Figure this out. You fear. There's plenty of smart people in chat to tell me what I'm doing. I know there is. When I say we, I mean you, because I'm too dumb, apparently. Layouts. So he can do layouts. That's creating the flex. All right. I don't want to render flex views into existing templates. All right. Templates are just methods that call other methods. So we defined template. Okay, fine. Tells me all about the DSL. It's great. Not even there yet. Just need to get the basics going. All right, so well, okay, it's obviously something wrong in the test because this works, right? So, and that is notes index, right? Yes. Okay, so obviously I've got something set up wrong. Test problem. Well, if I call notes controller.render and I haven't told it here not to use ERB. Oh, so this is rendering index directly. That's not what I want to do. I just want to call the index action. Right? Why would he render here? That's not what we're doing because we're rendering here. I actually want to render this. This doesn't make any sense how he's doing it. I mean, it probably does make sense because he's really smart. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think I can do that, but shot. Oh. Yeah, because there's nothing pass in context there. I don't understand what he's doing. Out chat. Why is he able to do this here? I'm not. Because of this? You just want to see it. I don't understand why this is. Oh, really? They aren't all coming through? Oh, crap. All right. Well, I'll check into the slow mode thing before next week. All screwed. I'll also check into the code together and try to get that set up so that we can do some coding together. People can get on here and show me what a doof I am. It's fine. All right. I don't understand. Redner. If I do that, I think what's happening is that this is just doing the render straight, and it doesn't know that it's not supposed to be an ERB. I can test that. I'm a big derp, Julie. It's fine. Okay with it. I've come to accept it. Just a very patient derp. Oh, well, Colin, it probably is. I know how you're just typing a string of bad word profanities. I know how you are, Colin. Can I open... Oh... Okay, it's probably, if you're trying to put a link in there, it's probably filtering link out. That's probably what's happening. Tell me what to Google search and I'll Google search it. Oh, a derp path? Well, it's probably interpreting that as a link then. Just do it without the slashes. App, yeah. What is it you want to see, my friend? Hey, Eric, welcome back. App notes. Ah. There's no app notes. You're talking about the views. That? Amazing how I remember what was discussed 10 seconds ago. Well, Julie, that's because it takes my brain 10 seconds to catch up to what was discussed anyway. So by the time the chat comes through, I'm finally caught up to what we were talking about. So timing's perfect. Okay, so this is what you wanted to see? All right, well, there it is. If you've got any hints on the hell I can do with the spec, I'm all ears. Yeah, I mean, I'll reach out to why am I drawing a blank? Joel. I'll reach out to Joel through Twitter off time and just get him to tell me what I'm doing wrong here. I'm sure it's something just goofy and silly that I'm doing, not understanding, but I mean, we'll figure it out. I think though that Joel Draper, he's the one that wrote Flex. Yeah, he was on, I think, 2 weeks ago on the show. Pull request 277 on which? On the Flex GitHub? Okay, not be open. It's up and get. Okay. So this pull request here. All right. And on test controller. Testing docs, 3 new pages. Okay. Oh, got testing docs. That's okay. So that's in what? Docs layout. Docs pages testing. So let's get to that. God, the scroll on this thing is so slow. Setup required test helpers. So there is a test helpers thing you got to do. Huh? This. All right. Thanks, Rebuilt. This is why I do this live with people, because any brains are much smarter than my brain cell. So I'm looking for the... Let's just do it in spec helper. Or, no, I've got all my other requires in here. So, oh no, not the double single thing again. I can't stand that. All right, so let us try. This again. Oh, all right. Well, now, okay. So what is the flex helper? What's in there? So what's this giving us? Render view. Oh. So we've got a render view. Control. Understand what am I supposed to? So it's called render. Get it? What am I? Why am I passing a block? Okay, let's go back and look. Spec. Helpers type. Oh. Oh, well, I missed part of it. Error. Right view, and I'm in a view. All right, see you, Colin. Yeah, I'm gonna get this test rolling, and then we'll have to call it for today because I'm gonna have to run. Well, we'll try to get this test rolling. All right. Still more to do. Yeah, that's. So I add the test helper. So I just need to call. Okay, that's how we're doing. Render view. Okay. All right. I think I understand now. Right. Care about the matchers at the just care about what I'm trying to do. So what's going to have the render view? So dumb. It's obviously getting late because my brain is not working. Basics here. All right, so how is he? But menu is here. Oh, that is this. No, that can't be right. All right, chat. I think I've run out of brain power for today. We're gonna figure out how to get this test rolling. I'm sure that it will be a thing that can be done. I'm going to go ahead and unfix that because you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't normally check in code with failing tests. You also normally shouldn't check into the master branch direct. However, just starting out, it's Funzy's project, and I kind of have time limits, so I kind of need to do a check-in with a failing test. However, I would encourage people, if they're interested in Flex, to maybe play with it and do a PR and see if you can figure out how to get it to run. That would be awesome, right? I mean, I will be reaching out and trying to figure this out myself, but right, so I'm gonna go ahead and push this so everybody can see this stuff up in the Pion. I will go ahead and pop this in the chat again if anybody needs to know where this is. So feel free to take a look if you want to take a stab at you know, figuring out how to get that test to work in Flex and throwing a PR up. That would be more than welcome. And we'll go through and look at the PR. If anybody ever puts a PR up here, one of the things we'll do is we'll go through and do a code review on the PR, so you, if you're new to this, you can see the kinds of things that people look for in code reviews and all that kind of stuff. So take a stab. Nobody's going to make fun of you, even if you get it wrong. This is all for practice and just for the community to learn. So I am going to, you know, just go crash for a while, but we'll be back next Wednesday. We'll have the RoboDuck Dev Show at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then next Thursday I'll be back here at 3 Eastern to do some more coding and look like a complete doof in front of the world. But that's the beauty of it. I don't care. I don't have to know everything. That's why we do this together. So we will see you guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all the help. I appreciate all the love. Love you guys. And until next time, happy coding.